Vanity Fair, the uppity magazine, make toys? Let's look at these weird, cool, crazy toys. Guys, welcome back to the channel. If I sound a little snuffy and everything and I'm going in videos, I apologize. I got COVID yet again. So bear with me. I still want to do a video for you guys. Today we're going to look at toys made by Vanity Fair. Now I kind of teased in the thumbnail and the teaser of the video that the uppity upscale magazine about celebrity gossip or whatever made this, but it's a different Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair was an electronic company, and whenever a toy company needed electronic toys, you know, they didn't have their own in-house people to do electronics, to do RC cars, walkie-talkies, did I say RC cars? I think I did. RC cars, record players. They turned to Vanity Fair. A lot of times when you saw a toy at Radio Shack, it was made by Vanity Fair, and sold at Radio Shack. Also, another toy company that was really big and used at Vanity Fair was Earl. You'll see a lot of these Earl toys with, it'll say Vanity Fair at the top by Earl under it. And I was pulling up these pictures and I was just amazed. There were so many different things and so many cool things. Because I really like this time period. It's that maybe mid to late 70s, early to mid 80s, you know, that 75 to 85 time range where the pop culture was really starting to get us Generation X kids, and companies knew it and they were slapping it on there. But I was going to say, look, they were just slapping on anything they could, and I guess they were. But something about this time period I really like, because it's such odd stuff. Today you see odd stuff with like The Office slipped on it, and you're like, oh, and they're just trying to make a buck. And I guess that's what they were trying to do back then, but at least they, you know.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just really like this time period, the weird stuff or obscure stuff that you really don't see much. You know, most of these old YouTube channels, nothing against them when they talk old toys, they're mostly 90% of the time talking about action figures, and we probably talk about action figures a lot here also. But it's fun looking at these weird obscure toys that just don't get much love. So let's dig into it. And we're going to start right here with a walkie-talkie at Radio Shack, and I think everybody, at least one person I knew, this was their first. Sorry about that. Now growing up, this was like the go-to walkie-talkie. It wasn't like the really cheap one. If you got something maybe G.I. Joe or A-Team or something. This is if you wanted a walkie-talkie that would actually work. You went to Radio Shack and you got this. It was it was a kid price. It was made for kids, so it wasn't an outrageous price, but it worked. It wasn't like those other cheap ones. And I think I know at least one kid that had this one in the neighborhood. And check out this right here, a transistor radio kit. Yeah, we could make our own damn radio. We could do our own radio station. This is the Master Disaster coming back at you at 10:40 after the hour. Coming up next, we've got the greatest hits from Sylvia. See, we could have had a lot of fun making our own radio. Check out this right here too. Hobby Holly Sing-Along AM radio. Now you can sing along with your Hobby Holly radio. AM. Guess you get to sing along with some Paul Harvey. Good day. I don't know who gets a Paul Harvey reference on there, but there we go. Check out this right here. Michael Jackson even got into that, thanks to Vanity Fair and Earl, with a cassette player. Yeah, you could put your Thriller cassette in there. Thriller, Thriller of the Night. Horrible song. I know you like it as a kid, so you have to like it now. But Michael Jackson come with a little, you put your little headphones on so your parents don't have to, what's that crap? Turn it down. You go, I listen to it all I want to, Dad. They also did AM radio. This was the mid 80s here. Come on, give us FM. Come on. But there you got some more headphones there. You can rock out to your AM. I guess you can listen to some Larry King. Check out this. Also a stereo. Yeah, you can listen to your 45. I'm talking about it before. I did buy the Thriller 45 record. Bought it at Rose's. I can remember going there, had it on 45. Got home. I was so disappointed because apparently I got, I guess, the radio edition. It didn't have the Vincent Price part on it, and that's the only part I wanted. I didn't care about the Michael Jackson part. I didn't care about that part. I wanted to hear Vincent Price. I was so upset. But there, what's on that box? Well, somebody played Tic-a-Tac-a-Doa on there. Let's move on to this one right here. Oh, here's an electronic game. Let's make this a little bigger for you guys. Okay, I made this a little bigger for you guys. Electronic game right here. There was a lot of little handheld electronic games back then. Some of them were fun. Some were fun for a few minutes. Some of them sucked time you took it out of the box. But I tell you what didn't suck. The Dukes of Hazzard record player. And get you a 45 record of Waylon Jennings singing the Dukes of Hazzard song. Put it on. You can play that thing. You can play it at a different speed. You can play it at the high speed. And it sounds like the Chipmunks singing the Dukes of Hazzard song. Awesome. A lot of fun, man. Just a good old boy. Never mean no harm. Remember that? Remember that? They keep on showing my hands and not my face on TV. Man, great times, great times. And then we got the RC Control Corvette. Dang, that's cool. Look at that kid. He's looking at the remote, really. It's one of those remotes with 2 buttons. Goes frontwards and backwards. You got to do it 10 times to get it to turn in a circle. Let's move on here. How about this one? This is one of my favorites. I would love to have this back here. I've never seen it in person. See it? I've seen it a couple times online. This would be so cool to have. Man, the Disc Jockey Control Center at WKRP. You can get that microphone with that, what is that, cotton styrofoam, what you call that, and say, booger. Nobody, you couldn't lose your FCC license either, because you'd be a little kid in your room. It wouldn't matter. That's awesome. I love that. How about this right here? If you're a boy and you ever want to disappoint your dad, tell him you just got a regular player that's Rainbow Bright. How about this one here? A Big Haul, another RC. Come out of that kid's mouth. I'm strangely confused. Let's move on here. How about this? I did a whole video about this guy. My brother had this and I played with it too. I loved it. It was like a little light gun. You shot the sheriff or shot the outlaw before he could shoot you. It's awesome. I loved this thing as a kid. And they even made one for, I was going to say it was King Kong. You know the part we're going for. But it's a safari hunt. It's got a big gorilla. You know they was trying to get some King Kong money. You know they were. But you know what else they made? The Joker. The Joker for Batman. Tell me that wouldn't have been a cool thing to shoot at. I like shooting at the outlaw. Man, the Joker would have been awesome. And the Joker's coming at you with a knife. Look at this scary crap out of the box. Look at that. That's a thing of nightmares. That's one scary ass Joker. Then we've got more products to upset your dad. Rainbow Bright. It comes with a microphone. Can you imagine you being a little boy about 8 years old running around with this thing singing some Bee Gees? You got to pack his bag and leave. And I don't blame him. And then we got Smurfs record player. I love the Smurfs. I was going to make a joke about that. I love the Smurfs as a kid. I did. You think they all ran a train on Smurfette? She was the only female one. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Then we got computer bowling. Who needs to go to the bowling alley? Who needs to join a bowling league? Everybody come over. I got electronic bowling. I can play bowling at my house. Ain't that cool? I bet it was fun for the time, honest. I bet it was kind of fun for the time. And how about, I remember this one. I had a friend that had this. It was horrible. It was a remote control with a cord on it and a skateboard. You had to run around. You had to run with it. It was horrible. It was horrible. Why they make an RC as a cord, I'll never know. And there's another one right here. I guess there's no cord on this one, but look at this little puppy dog. You go sniffing around. It looks like it's sniffing. I don't know why I think it's a puppy. Puppy. Your mom and dad won't buy you a dog, and you're like, well, how about a RC fake dog? Won't go on the carpet though. Can't take it up to my bedroom. Have to do it in the kitchen. And Vanity Fair with shirt tails. I've been seeing a lot of shirt tail stuff lately on this channel. I don't know why. Shirt tails right there. I don't know. Was that for girls? I never really got into that. And, oh my God, they made so much Rainbow Bright stuff. These toy companies didn't care about upsetting Dad. Unless he had a cute little girl. And he's like, oh, my girl likes Rainbow Bright. I'll watch it with you, honey. But that right there is the AM, FM. They just got FM. At least it's got FM finally. You can see some Debbie Gibson, I guess. And check out this right here. It's got to be the most plain, the most boring phonograph record player I've ever seen. How boring is this? God, slap a bunny sticker on it. Slap something on it. Slap some paint. God, I like the little duck there though. And then we got the A-Team. A-Team. Who didn't know? If you grew up in the 80s and you were between 11 and 14 and you didn't love the A-Team, something was wrong with you. The A-Team. Even be like he's taking a mugshot. Look at him right there. There's Hannibal Smith. Walkie-talkie A-Team. That's awesome, man. They made other A-Team things also. Check out this. Bullhorn. Man, I would have ran around the street with this thing right here, screaming into it like I was the A-Team. I love it when a plan comes together. I'll pee in the pool. Would have been a lot of fun. And then, how about this? An AM and FM radio, Bigfoot. Did you know they made Bigfoot? Right? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there. AM and FM, Bigfoot radio. Hey, little tease here. If you're into James Bond, I'm going to show you something cool as shit in a few minutes. Just hold on to your whistles, man. This ain't what I'm talking about. It's coming up. James Bond Watch Radio. Forget your little Apple Watch or whatever. James Bond radio. Look how big it is. It's got a radio on it. Ain't that cool? That is cool. Check out. Here we go. I told you I'm going to show you something cool from James Bond. I don't know about you, but that's pretty darn cool. AM radio 007. I don't see how you could be a James Bond fan or a collector of James Bond stuff and not have this on display. This thing's freaking cool. I don't even get into James Bond that much, and it'd be cool to have. Sure. I think, I grew up on Roger Moore. He wasn't my favorite. I like Timothy Dalton. He gets a lot of shit. And George Lazenby. George Lazenby was a good James Bond. And, of course, Sean Connery. But let's move on here. Let's look at this right here. Superman coming out of the phone booth. AM radio. It's got some dials. He turn it on. Turn it up. Turn it loose. Right there from Vanity Fair. Solid state. I don't know what that means. See what I mean when I say there was just some cool shit? I just kept finding cool shit when I was looking at this. Fall Guy. I didn't know about any Fall Guy merchandise when I was a kid. Wish I did. So wrapped up in Star Wars, I guess I missed this. That's freaking awesome. Fall Guy. Colt Seavers. Ooh, sorry about that. Did you know they made this? Battlestar Galactica AM radio. At first you thought it was a helmet, didn't you? Like, that's a helmet. No, it's an AM radio. Again with the damn AM. Spend a little money. Put a little FM in there. And then we got... How about this right here? Just a generic robot. You got a shootout. Kind of like that Target game we saw earlier with King Kong, the Joker, and the Outlaw. But it's a little robot. And I think this robot actually moves and stuff. That's kind of neat. I like that one. And check out this. Back to the A-Team again. Walkie-talkie headset. Now this is what I would love. I would have loved this as a kid. It come with two. It better came with two. I hope it wasn't like you bought one and your friend had to buy one or you've been screwed. That would have been awesome. I would have been walking around acting like I was well, let's be honest. I would act like I was Murdoch. Murdoch was my favorite. I know everybody was crazy about B.A. Baracus, Mr. T. Murdoch was my guy. Man, I remember going to school the day after telling everybody about Murdoch. What did Murdoch get into? Mostly girls, because at that time in 3rd, 4th grade, small schools, like 11 students, just like 2 boys. The rest were girls, so I just tell the girl, hey, let me tell you about Murdoch. Murdoch, man, he had a fake dog. I love Murdoch. Check out this Spider-Man camera. That's kind of neat right there. I like that. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Man, I should have pulled so many. My throat was really starting to kill me. I've talked a lot here. So let's move on to this one. Here's one Hulk. If I'm not spending as much time on these as I have been, just trying to get done with the video. I don't want to get through these because they're cool. But there you go. The Hulk. Look at that kid right there on them ugly 70s bowl haircuts. Hate it. I'm glad that went out of style. Oh, check out this. Space 1999 Bullhorn. I don't think that's going to work. First, you got a helmet on. Second, you in space. I don't think your bullhorn's gonna work in space. I could be wrong. Let's look at one more. And it's got, two more, sorry. John Deere. I guess this is more for the country kid. With the AM and FM radio. Why ain't it green? Why ain't it green? Shouldn't it be John Deere green? Billy Bob loves Charlene. Okay, let's look at one more. Hey, get out of here. Okay, Holly. I'll say this for last because it got to be the creepiest shit I ever seen. This, if you want to talk about a toy that's probably haunted, they got some haints in it. Look at this thing. One that's like a piano from the 1850s or something, and it's got even a boy playing with it. Look at that microphone. It looks like it's from the 1800s. Oh, this thing is just creepy and scary looking. At least I think it is. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But anyway, if anybody tells you Vanity Fair didn't make toys, you can say yes they did because Junkman showed me a bunch of them. They were cool. Man, that WKRP in Cincinnati. Baby, have you ever wondered what ever happened to me? I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. WKRP. Man, the turkey drop. I'm getting out of here, guys. I gotta go rest his voice. I can do another video for you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Talk again.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.